Hello from me, Lazarus. We continue with the next lesson of the course by Lazarus IDE. We are currently working on the 7th chapter. Standard ribbon components. We are currently on our 3rd lesson from her, for the next 3 components. From this tape, we start first with the TToogleBox component. We create a new empty project and we place 3 such components of the form. Just a moment, show this component here up here, like that. I'm coming back now because here the example. I have given it in the final version. So, I'm changing the titles of these buttons like this. This is button 1, this is button 2, this is button 3. This component looks like regular button, but when pressed, becomes marked. That is, it acts as switch, on/off. This is done via the checked property, which has 2 positions, truth or lie. We also notice another feature that their title can be written on multiple lines. We click twice on the first one and we see that the procedure is, ToogleBox 1 change. We will write code using a condition, if button 1 is pressed, to change its title to. Button 1 is pressed, and if not, of button 1 not pressed. This is realized through the if and else conditional statements as follows. You see it written on screen procedure, and everything is quite logical. Note, in this procedure, that before the else statement no semicolon. This is mandatory, otherwise it gives an error. And the result will be, we do the procedures in a similar way and for ToogleBox 2 and ToogleBox 3. We continue with the components. TCheckBox and TRadioButton, the buttons that enable multiple or single choice. With TCheckBox it can be selected more than one option, and with the radio buttons only one, of all that are given. So, we start by first putting all form components in the following manner. I already showed them here. Here they are, and we continue writing the code in button press procedures. We start with checkbox 1, double click on it, and in the opened procedure we write the following code. If checkbox 1.checked equals true, then ToogleBox 1.checked equals true, else ToogleBox 1.checked equals false. The idea is that if checkbox 1 is checked, that there is a check mark in ToogleBox 1 as well, that is, to be active. We compile and run, and we test by putting here a check mark is visible, that the first button responds. we remove it and he reacts again. Then in a similar way we do the procedure for radio button 1 as well, but with one difference, that when this button is highlighted the other two should be inactive. Here, let's close the program yes and call the procedure on the radio button. And here we see that it is a little different. Here we have to point out that when we highlight radio button 1, ToogleBox 1 must be enabled, but the other two, ToogleBox 2 and ToogleBox 3 must be disabled. Here is the code in the procedure. Then in a similar way we will style the code for radio button 2 as well, but here the second one will be active, and accordingly is for radio button 3, where the third will be active. Here's another way to show. Here, for example, we choose radio button 2, and we will see the following. And so you may, if you wish, to experiment more, e.g. to also bind the radio buttons to the checkboxes, as here there is an opportunity of different options. Now at the end of the lesson, here in the PDF file, I want to pay attention in an easier and more precise way of working. Copy code from one procedure to another, instead of typing it manually. Then carefully and precisely you change the data for the relevant components. In case of an error in the code, the compiler shows you, in the message window, what and where is the error. And you have to remove it and compile the program again. Here is an example. Let's put a semicolon before the else statement in one of the procedures and we will immediately see the following, and we can't compile before removing it. That's what I wanted to show you in this tutorial. Best regards.